Hey there, fabulous. Welcome back to another fabulous video. So in today's video, it is a long overdue part 2 of my friends and I Zoom meeting discussion about what it's like to be a Cal student. In this video, we will talk about how we deal with stress during midterms and final season, as well as what we like to do for fun in Berkeley as well as outside of Berkeley. So before we get started, do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. All right, so without further ado, let's jump onto this video. So we'll go on and share we have had or experienced with stress, or like how that led to us expressing our emotions, whether it was in public or in our dorm room. And yeah, what was the outcome of that?
So the time that I have felt like super stressed was my whole time at Berkeley. But my first semester, I remember it was almost finals and I kept stressing because that's what I do. I stress about everything. I got to Doe, the library, and I sat on the bench and I started bawling my eyes out. And my mom calls me on the phone and I answer like crying. And people are like walking in and out of the library and they like kind of glance at me and just keep walking. There's this one girl though, she stopped and she looked at me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No." And she said, "It's gonna be okay. Just take a deep breath." And she left. Like, that's all she said to me. But I was like, okay, it's normal. It's normal to feel these emotions. Um, and so now I'm not like, I don't feel weird about talking about crying or feeling stress to people, especially on campus or like even to like administration. Like I straight up tell them like I had a mental breakdown last night. Like I'd be walking into work like I need to chill for a sec because I just cried before walking in.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience, Ruby.
Of course.
So this is not just a one-time story. This is an every midterm final season that I've been through. I get super in my head and I don't like to express what I feel. So when I'm finally getting down to like writing my paper or studying for that final or whatever it is, I will just sit on my desk and I will break down and cry. It's just kind of like the way I release all my stress. Maybe that's probably my own mistake, that because I don't study so hard like the weeks prior. But it's happened ever since I was in school, even in community college. It literally happens every time.
Yeah, I think it's honestly just like a natural thing where people, like, whether you know it or not, you kind of know unconsciously of like, it's that time. I feel like every Cal student like goes under this pressure.
Yeah, for me personally, it's kind of a difficult task to cry. So I think it's just because I've been conditioned to think so rationally. What I typically do is I'll just stay in my bed and lay down and like leave my phone on my desk, and I just won't do anything. I won't talk to anybody. I like to get outside and just like sit in like the sun or like go skate outside. Yeah.
I think something that we've done, because we've studied the four of us together, is that when we do feel stressed while we're studying, we'll take a break and we'll go for a walk, we'll go get snacks so that we have snacks while we're studying. Because I think that we just overwhelm ourselves with like so much studying that we forget that we're human and we're not just robots, like just studying completely. We kind of reward ourselves so that we're not just in this constant state of stress and panic.
I think also finding like a solid group of friends that you could study with and not just like mess around, do things is good for your own good.
Knowing when to stop being so hard on yourself, because last semester for my theory 1 class, I got a C plus my paper on my first paper for that class. And I held in tears because throughout my whole academic career, I have always given it my best, and I've never felt disappointed with the grade. Like I felt like a failure, and a C plus to me isn't, now that I think back on it, it's not that bad, but like at that moment it was. Now that I can reflect on it and be like, nah, like next time something bad like that happens, or not even bad, but just something unexpected, because I really wasn't expecting that grade, happens, I can move past it. We can't be hard on ourselves at all. Like we got into Cal, like we're fine. We're gonna do good.
Talk about the fun times that there is at Cal, because There are some fun turn up times. Can you tell us what your fun experience is?
Yeah, so I like going to co-op parties, and they're typically in the cooperative housing, or like in just big spaces that they have available to them. And the way I find out about them is just through friends and friends of friends that like forward, because they make flyers on like Instagram and like just their Snapchats, and they just send them all over the place. Like how handled it is, because they get like people like protecting everything outside. Just for example, like the last one I went to, it was on North Side, and before we even entered the party, they had us explain to like each person in my group, like they were like, oh, like what does consent mean to you? And we couldn't enter the party unless we had given a definition that we came up with. So I like that.
Yeah, co-ops are definitely all about consent. So yeah, I could definitely agree. All right, Ruby, how about you? What's a fun experience that you've had?
I like going into San Francisco for emo night because I used to go to emo night all the time in LA because I'm from East LA. So I'd go all the time to LA. And then when I found out that they were doing it in San Fran, I was like, I need to go. I need to see what it's like. They do it once a month, like towards the end of the month, which is something to like look forward to. The bad thing about it being towards the end of the month is sometimes midterms get in the way or finals, but it's cool because it's like $5 to get there, and then like $5 to come back, or even less on the part. So yeah.
I liked how you shared some activities that you could do outside of Berkeley. So that way, students just don't have to stay in Berkeley to have fun. All right, Angie, how about you? What's a fun activity that you like to do?
So there's like a couple of bars on the south side of campus. There's Tap House, there's Pappy's, and there's Kips. The music is kind of different in both Pappy's and Kips. Pappy's has a lot of more Latinx music. Kips has a lot of like Bay Area music. But it's super cool, super chill. You want to get a fishbowl, you definitely want to go to Kips. There's also Rallies. Rallies is like another bar. Tap House is another bar, but it's super low key. But it's definitely an experience. I personally like dancing, so I just like Kips and Pappy's better.
For me, I like to do like the co-op or Poppies and Kips. I think a lot of the times people assume that Berkeley students don't party or you're not gonna have fun, but you are gonna have fun. But always do it safely and consentfully. And UC Berkeley definitely, Berkeley itself emphasizes consent a lot. So always be safe to others and to yourself. Turn on your location, okay? Share to your friends. Be smart about every move that you do when you're at a party. Don't leave your cups just there. Like if you're gonna go to the bathroom and you're gonna leave your cup right there, don't get that cup again. But for me, that's like common sense. But for other people, they might, still consume it. But yeah, is there anything else you guys would like to add with wrapping this up?
Like you said, having your location on. I share my location with all three of y'all, I think. And even then, I'll share it with like one other person back home because I'm just like, y'all need to, God forbid something happens, know where I'm at.
All of you guys are doing incredible things out there. You should definitely check them out.
I work for different departments in the UC Berkeley campus, so if anybody wants to like reach out to me.
I work on campus, so if y'all ever like add me on Instagram, you guys can ask me questions. I'm also into research, so if y'all have any questions about that as well, feel free. Claudia said she'll put in the description below. I've always wanted to do that. I'm like, wait.
I'm in a few clubs, so I'm pretty active on campus, and clubs work differently in university than in college or community college or high school level. Many clubs on campus you have to interview for and go through like multiple rounds of interviews. So if like joining something interests you, like let me know and I could give you like useful tips or how to be better prepared to like join something that you want to be in.
Definitely use people for resources. That's like the number one thing that I've learned. So as well as with me, you guys can add me on Instagram. If you have any sorts of questions, go ahead and message me. I will direct you to the correct resource or try to help you as much as I can. So yeah, we're all here to help. All right, thank you guys so much for being here. And to end this video, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and share. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching and take care. I'll see you later. Stay fabulous.